In this day and age, social media has essentially taken over our lives. But is this really a good thing? I'm here with you today to discuss the positives and negatives of social media. Let's start out with some of the benefits. Different social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube bring benefits, especially to children and teenagers. And some of these benefits include enhancing communication, broadening social connections, and learning technical skills. They allow those who are shy or have trouble making friends to socialize more easy. That's also true for those with disabilities. Social media can have positive impacts regarding relationships, such as those individuals looking to date but are unable to find the right person. Social media gives an opportunity to those that are more naturally shy to interact with others. On a professional level, social media allows professionals to network more easily and businesses to share information with customers. Advertising is free on many social media sites and cheap on others, and big corporations can utilize this and market themselves inexpensively. Additionally, social media permits people to reacquaint with old friends or those who live far away. Finally, social media is a big reason that many new organizations can start from the ground up, because through the use of social media, these groups can recruit new members and spread their messages easily and effectively. Social media has taken over our lives, as it seems like whatever we are doing, we are constantly checking our Facebook and email, making sure that we are not missing out on anything. I have found some surprising statistics regarding social media and how profound of an impact it has. Some of these are that half of American teenagers log on to their favorite social media site at least once a day, whereas 22% do so at least 10 times a day. Social media can also expose individuals to risks, such as cyberbullying. For some teens, social media is the primary way they interact socially, and a large part of this generation's social and emotional development is occurring while on the internet and on cell phones. Because of their limited capacity for self-regulation and susceptibility to peer pressure, children and adolescents are at risk as they navigate and experiment with social media. There are frequent online expressions of offline behaviors, such as bullying, click forming, and sexual experimentation, and have introduced problems such as cyberbullying, privacy issues, and sexting. Other problems that merit awareness include internet addiction and concurrent sleep deprivation. One key negative to social media is cyberbullying, which is common. 19% of teens say they have been harassed online or cyberbullied, and 38% know of someone else who has been. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and even suicide. The consequences can be life-altering, both for the victim and the bully. These children may require treatment for mental health issues. Is social media really worth this risk? Other risks to pre-adolescents and adolescents online today are lack of privacy, sharing too much information, or presenting false information about themselves or others. When internet users visit various websites, they can leave behind evidence of which sites they have visited. This collective ongoing record of one's web activity is called the digital footprint. One of the biggest risks to young people on social websites is to their digital footprint and future reputations. Pre-adolescents and adolescents who lack an awareness of privacy issues often post inappropriate messages, pictures, and videos without understanding that what goes online stays online. As a result, future jobs or even college applications may be put into jeopardy. To understand the perception of social media from my fellow University of Michigan classmates, I decided to investigate. I conducted an experiment with a simple random sample and decided to ask students a couple questions in order to help me better understand their perception on social media. What is your opinion on social media?
I think it's overused right now with all my friends, family, neighbors.
I think social media is a great way for everybody to get connected throughout the world. You know, people that you wouldn't normally be able to normally contact in China, India, and other countries, etc.
I would say that social media can be both a good thing and a bad thing, but it just depends on how you use it and what you use it for.
Do you ever feel that social media can be a bad thing?
Yes, I think it sometimes makes people too reliant on it, and instead of going outside, physical activity, socializing, they're glued to a computer.
Too much of anything is a bad thing, and I feel like a lot of people use going social media too much, and it prohibits them from doing other things like having the opportunity to go outside and play, sports, or just go to a park, spend time with their kids or whatever, anybody.
Yeah, I think social media tends to consume people's lives, and people get really caught up in what's going on in that world, and sometimes it distracts people from reality.
How many hours a day do you spend on social media?
Say about 3 to 4 hours a day.
Probably spend about 2.5 to 3 hours a day on social media.
I'd say cognitively, like 1 hour. A lot of times I leave Facebook open, but I'm not really paying attention to it.
Do you think you could last more than a week without using social media?
If I was forced to, I think I could, but if it was on my free will, probably not.
Probably, but during that week I'd be very tempted to want to go onto Facebook, Twitter, check tweets, etc.
Yeah, I definitely think I could do it, but it would be a challenge, especially when everyone else around me is so consumed in that environment.
Indeed, there are positives and negatives to social media, but one thing that has been witnessed is the power that social media has. Facebook, the most popular social media platform in the world, has attracted more than 1 billion users, or about 1/7 of the global population. In the medical field, much is learned from medical studies of volunteers, but there's been a problem in getting people to volunteer in order for research to be conducted. Social media has played a significant part in helping recruit individuals for research, and now it has even come to the point where social media can be used in clinical research. It has been studied that social media can be used in the medical field in order to recruit patients for clinical trials, encourage interprofessional communication and collaboration, develop virtual patient interactions and training, set up health and advocacy groups, promote funding and fundraising opportunities, and finally, to issue public health alerts. This is vital as this research can help lead to medical breakthroughs. It's crazy that social media has had this big of power over our lives. Our health is now even affected by social media, as social media could actually save our lives one day. An epitome of this is there are cancer-based LinkedIn groups that bring together patients and their doctors and have even been used to find surgeons who will remove inoperable cancers. There are even education sessions through social media affecting the medical field, as the Association of Clinical Research Organizations recently announced the launch of its YouTube channel to educate the public, media, and policymakers about clinical trials and the growing role of clinical research in drug development. Social media continues to grow and influence every aspect of our lives, and it has even come to the point where different social media sites can spy on you and know where you are at all times. There is a program called Riot, a program from defense contractor Raytheon that looks through Facebook, Twitter, Gowalla, and Foursquare to find out where a person lives and hangs out, to discover what he or she looks like, and even to predict what he or she will do in the future. If social media controls us to this extent already, what does the future hold in social media? In a world where we are glued to our computers and addicted to technology, only time will tell how much of a bigger impact social media can have on our lives.